Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this coming from Smoke. 90% of geopolitical events have not changed the trajectory of the world economy. The bull cycle is going to continue despite the geopolitical shitstorm currently bubbling. Data plus history plus research prevail over the fears of retail investors every time. Right now, what is happening all over X is I see people saying, that's it, we're back in a bear market. Don't expect alt season for another couple of years. These people are all full of shit. Alt season is still coming, and nothing's gonna change that. And that's why it's so important to continue to hold on to your crypto. Don't get shaken out by other retail investors. You know it's coming. You could see it building. Meanwhile, in Dubai, Ripple won't stop educating the industry about XRP and the XRP ledger. This comes from XRP Drops. Now remember, they told you nobody's utilizing XRP, and nobody's ever going to utilize it, right? Well, take a listen to this right here.
We believe that XRP and the XRP ledger really solves those inefficiencies to move money like information does today. Like I can send an email to anyone in the world, and they're going to get it in a few seconds. Okay. Like I mentioned, if I send money, there's no real, telling of when that's going to arrive. And what the central banks, what they're doing, we're trying to work with. So we use XRP as a bridging asset between two fiat currencies. So essentially, what that does is that allows our customers who want to make a payout into the Philippines, let's say from the UK, to move that value in real time to make a payout in a couple of minutes versus a couple of days. Right. And so far, we've processed about 37 million transactions, approximately $50 billion in value. So, we're seeing some real traction. I think we'll come onto it, I'm sure, later. But, where we've seen a lot of holdback is people really taking that step into the market because of the unclear, maybe regulation that does exist.
So they are utilizing XRP. And take notice to what he said at the end. If you want to know when the flip of the switch is going to happen, it's going to happen once regulations are put in place. Because soon after regulations, we are going to have mass adoption of XRP and RippleNet technology. And that is absolutely coming. Now, when the market dips, do you honestly think this guy is ready to sell his XRP? No, he's going to hold it for a long period of time, because he's utilizing it for its actual utility and use case. We're going to see other big financial institutions doing the same thing in the very near future. This comes from Cyprus. Welcome to the new normal, old world versus new totalitarian world. So you know what it's like to go in right now to apply for a bank loan. You got to set up a meeting at the bank. You got to sit down, give them all your paper documents. Then they send those documents out and wait for an approval. If it's approved, you go and pick up the money. But this is what's coming. The user has all his documents in his personal digital wallet, from national identity to income statement. He selects only the required documents asked by the bank for the loan application and sends them easily in full security. The bank receives the documents electronically. If a document is missing, it's only one click away for the user. The application is ready to continue. Look at how simple that actually is. But they're talking about this using the European digital identity. But wait until this comes to the XRP ledger, where you're able to borrow against your XRP using the XRP ledger, or a project that's building out on the XRP ledger, or you're able to lend out your XRP and get passive income from it. That's what I was talking about in yesterday's video. That's the future I'm waiting for. Because once you could get passive income from your XRP, you never ever have to sell it. And I think that's coming. Once adoption happens and these big financial institutions get here, they're going to open up so many possibilities for passive income. We're just not quite there yet. Not another ISO piece. An article by Kevin Flood of FIS Global. Now, one thing I want to point out is this right here. Building an in-house native solution might not be viable in this journey, is not already underway, with timelines fast closing in on November 2025 deadline. The banks are not going to build their own solution. I keep seeing people saying that all over X. You'll say something about XRP and people say, the banks aren't going to use XRP. They're building out their own solutions to moving money. No, they're not. They're going to go with an outside vendor like Ripple because time is running out. They don't have time to build an in-house, solution. There's solutions out there that they're just going to utilize. And that's why I said, once mass adoption starts, all that noise will disappear. All the retail investors all over X that are trying to shake you out of your XRP, they will be long gone once we see adoption for XRP. Crypto will be made illegal, Kendra Hill in 2018. This is what I was talking about in a video a couple days ago. This is not a maybe. This is a warning. Nothing is left up to chance. Our world is always planning years in advance. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail, and failure is not an option. Allowing additional currencies to exist when the world is only using one currency would be disruptive. So it will not be tolerated, and it will be easier to stop than you think. Now, that was back in 2018. But XRP is not a threat to the US dollar. However, Bitcoin will be a threat to a CBDC. XRP will just bridge CBDC from one country to another. So I don't think they're going to make XRP illegal. But we do know that 99% of crypto will go to zero. Take a listen to Brad once again.
You're one of the front runners, but the thing is, are there too many of you guys?
Actually, I agree with you. I think there are too many. There are around 3,000 different digital assets that trade on a daily basis now. I think, anytime there's a new market, there's a lot of people that run into that market and try to show that they can solve a problem, they can deliver a customer need. I have said publicly before that I think 99% of all crypto probably goes to zero. But there is that 1% where I think that is focused on solving a real problem for real customers and is able to do that at scale. And that's going to be game changing. And I think that's going to continue to grow significantly in the decades ahead.
Like I've been telling you, if your crypto doesn't solve a problem, it's going to zero. And Brad has been saying this ever since back in 2019. And there were only 3,000 active crypto projects back then. Look at how many there are today. Once regulations come, most of crypto will be regulated out, and it will happen so quick. A lot of people that are stuck in meme coins, their money's just going to get wiped out. Those meme coins are just going to go to zero, and they're never going to bounce back. And that's what you got to prepare for now, because regulations are coming quicker than we think. We are close. Ripple's Fiona Murray emphasizes, I left Bangalore more confident than ever in our team's ability to drive the internet of value. The rise of the Finternet is coming as well. That BIS project that they're fast tracking right now. A few days ago, Ripple President Monica Long highlighted that she is more bullish than ever. They're telling you it is coming because now they're starting to see everything evolve. Everything's coming together. All the pieces of the puzzle are almost in place. I'm telling you, we are closer than we think. This comes from Eleanor Tourette. So according to the SEC union, the agency was forced to cut staff benefits and salary increases this year because of Gensler's increased spending on other things in fiscal year 23 and 24. So what's going on is they're asking for more money, but they're only allotted 2.23 billion, but they were asking for 2.59 billion. So what's going to happen is this. Most likely we'll see a few layoffs at the SEC. And if people don't get a raise, most likely they will be leaving the SEC as well. But in my opinion, the SEC is not doing anything to protect us anyway. Remember, Gary's supposed to be protecting the retail investor. Instead, he's protecting the big banks. The future of digital payments and gaming. And yesterday I talked about the music industry. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about gaming. Now, there's a lot of people out there that always said, you know, I would love to be a professional gamer. I'd love to get paid to play games. And that's coming thanks to blockchain. You're going to see payment methods in gaming where we have real-time payments inside of games, from credit cards to cryptocurrencies. Crypto's starting to push towards gaming as well. Plus, there's pay-to-earn games now. At some point, everybody's going to be able to monetize their gameplay inside of gaming, thanks to blockchain and crypto. And look, you see the rise of digital wallets. You're going to attach your digital wallet to your Xbox or your PlayStation, and all of a sudden, you're going to be getting paid as you play. This is coming as well. Like I said, blockchain's going to continue to disrupt many different industries, but it's doing it by cutting out all the middlemen. And once you cut out the middlemen, then people could actually start to make money from this. I see a lot of people becoming professional gamers in the very near future. I just wanted to touch on that really quick. So Senator Warren and other Democrats pressed CFTC to promptly finalize banning of political event contracts. But what she's talking about is gambling. So the letter comes a few months after the CFTC voted to propose a rule that, if finalized, would ban event contracts that bet on political contests and other areas such as those involving gaming, war, terrorism, and assassination. Now, I could see that. You can't have crypto tied to terrorism and things like that. But people are also betting on who's going to win the next election. I see that as well. And I think that's the way that Elizabeth Warren is really leaning in here. Plus, she still has to make crypto look bad in the process. I'll let you know what the CFTC has to say. Remember this, gold held up a lot better than crypto, Jim Kramer. For once, I actually agree with Jim on this. But now, I think gold is going to start to crash out. Because anything Jim Kramer says, you could expect the opposite to happen. But I did see gold hold up very well in this crash. 3/4 of banks face digital banking infrastructure issues. So most of you probably use online banking. And you know sometimes the online banking sucks. Well, 75% of banks struggle to implement new payment offerings on data core systems. And we know those systems, they're old. They're still tied to Swift. A lot of them are in need of a major upgrade. But this is the same reason that we're going to see banks working with Ripple in the future. Once you could make real-time payments, once you could send money in a matter of seconds, everything's going to change very fast. And the banks are going to get that upgrade through ISO as well. That's going to change a lot of things for the banks. It's going to make the banks more competitive. And I think a lot of the reason that they have to lean in this direction is because fewer and fewer people are putting their money in the bank anymore. And that's actually a very wise decision because we are not out of the banking crisis yet. I still think a massive amount of banks have to collapse and become consolidated. The FDIC did not talk about bail-ins if they weren't coming. But you know, anything could happen in this market at any moment. And that's what I always try to tell you. But you got to stay focused on what you know, what you've learned over the past years. I've been pointing it out, all the growth around Ripple, all the ties Ripple has all throughout the world, all those rails that are put in place. That's what you got to stay focused on. Because once regulations come, that flip of the switch is going to happen. And you better be holding XRP on that day. Because all of a sudden, we're going to see XRP achieve prices you could only dream of. But you know, until it all happens, you also got to stay patient, stay positive, so we can get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.